Alrighty, guys, good evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Montues. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Montues. Good evening, Slane. Good. Hi. Hopefully we don't have any technical issues tonight, guys. We'll see how it goes, though. Yeah. OBS has been crashing. There's a new update. I don't know if it fixes anything, though. But we'll see. Reading glitter. We're going to take a look at the Reddits here the tubes here real quick. Because there might be some Computex information. Computex is a big commercial, basically, shindig. It's a lot like CES, where they just release new hardware and commercial hardware and stuff. Pretty cool from a hardware standpoint. Probably should buy this. Dirt. Loading it. Alrighty. The Riftbreaker. We will be playing Riftbreaker tonight, as aforementioned. I've been waiting for release. This is our guilty pleasure. Occasionally I'll play single-player games, and I really enjoy playing Riftbreaker, so we're going to consider with more of the same. Let's take a look at, see if there's Computex stuff on the tubes. NVIDIA is obsessed with Apple. NVIDIA made a CPU. Yeah, that's not, it's not something that's going to be a consumer CPU. Like, you're not going to be exchanging it for your Intel or AMD CPU. Do we have any Computex shit here? Gamers Nexus is a bit. I was hoping there would be more Computex stuff. My guess is it's just going to be a wrap-up for the best stuff. Sometimes, like with conventions like this, there's a lot of people there and not a lot of cool things. So, yeah. Expensive thing I own? Oh, it's a car? FPS RTS back, highly doubtful. New Aliens game. Not Aliens, Starship Troopers? We're supposed to be looking at Computex stuff, guys. So why is my download on Steam so low? I actually have it limited for some reason. Make my computer explode if we uncap it? Let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, all the bits now. All the fucking bits. Upload's working fine. Kept crashing today, configure it why. It seems to be working fine after removing the front USB ports. Probably a short, or one of the ports, maybe dust in it. Possible. Yep, they can. I mean, you saw I was having issues with my... Oh, we should turn on my hand cam just to see if it crashes OBS again. Let's turn it on for shits and giggles. There's an update. I don't know if it's doing anything. I replaced the transformer last night on stream, and that didn't change anything. Oh, look at Steam Go. Look at how many cores. Look, oh my god. I mean, it's only limited to 8 cores, but it's not even using 100% of them. Look at him go. Sucking down those bits, guys. Like a fat kid on a Slurpee. That's not my bandwidth either. That's just CPU utilization from the bandwidth usage. Can't show you my bandwidth widget because it has an IP address on it. I think the Windows one doesn't, though. There you go. God, that's so amazing. Wow. Done. Just like that. Didn't interrupt my internet at all. You can't do that with cable. So, yeah, definitely can't do that with cable. My god, Travel Geek's getting exotic $450 hotel now. Yikes. I don't know if I want to take a look at another burn piece from Gamers Nexus. They just seem to be like, they're just becoming like a tabloid for shitting on people. Like, I'm kind of actually want to see it, but at the same time... I guess, let's take a look at it.
4 elephants. 1 GPU.
NVIDIA is slaughtering elephants to produce GPUs.
Notice the beautiful lights. So many different lights, and all of the different lights are projecting light. None of that conversation was scripted.
Yes, that was apparent. Thank you, Jensen.
Moore's Law is probably currently running at about 2 times. The demand for every single generation increased and increased and increased. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I am the sound effect. Are you guys with me? Hi, am I alone? I have a lot to tell you, very little time, so let's get going. I'm sorry I took so much time, so you're gonna have to...
We'll go quick.
Split. It's 14-inch. It weighs almost nothing. Everything I'm showing today are very heavy. It weighs almost nothing. This is 60 pounds, 65 pounds. Even this is incredibly heavy. I wonder if this can play Crisis.
No.
Only gamers know that joke. You know karaoke, right? Taiwanese love karaoke. You're gonna join me on this one, okay?
I will make you like me first, yeah. Sing it with me, I really
This is the part.
like NVIDIA.
All right, with that kind of performance, I'm gonna hire AI next time.
The keynote was a total show at Computex. It wasn't just boring and meandering, but oftentimes incomprehensibly contradictory.
Are you guys with me?
Even still, watching the NVIDIA keynote was at times like watching a sitcom.
It's like it
Fever Dream?
Oh, Janine doesn't speak Chinese.
Except instead of Friends, where you watch a group of people struggle to navigate human relationships, we watch a billionaire CEO struggle to navigate how to eliminate human relationships for a man-made future dystopian hellscape. I'd watch the sitcom.
I'm here to tell you about how wonderful stinky tofu is. It's best from the night market.
The only input was words. The output was that video. And Paul, Tom?
We have a lot more to talk about. Fortunately, not
Obviously,
much of it
they're
is
cherry
actually
picking.
news. We have some news. We've broken that out to do our jobs, but there's a lot of just commentary about the absolute inanity and the state of NVIDIA, where it has become almost aggressively defensive about its GPU pricing. Let's get started. Before that, this video is brought to you by Deepcool and the new Zero Dark series of AK620 and here's more at the... Don't bother. It was mostly a self-congratulatory circle for the entirety of the presentation, and it points towards a greater concern we have about bordering anti-consumer behaviors. And this is something we've voiced several times now about NVIDIA over the years, but each time it kind of assures everyone, says, no, we don't want to be like Apple. We're going to let you choose between GPU partners, and we want a healthy ecosystem. Except increasingly it is becoming evident that this is not the vision that CEO Jensen Huang has.
That's NVIDIA.
And now it makes more sense where NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's mentality comes from, because on that stage, it's almost like he needed an empty chair next to him. He was starting to pick fights with an opponent that didn't exist.
So $10 million gets you nearly 1,000 CPU servers. For a $10 million server, you buy 48 GPU servers. It's the reason why people say that GPU servers are so expensive.
He became defensive towards the idea of price to the extent of offense.
This is, I just want to point out, this is basically not gaslighting, you mad, bro, sort of shit, where you're just trying to point out someone else as being emotional, because basically emotions are bad, or addressing a concern is bad, which I also don't believe in. It's basically rhetorical. Is basically what it comes down to. It's basically rhetorical, and yeah.
Defending himself. It was very odd in those instances, and although that wasn't the majority of the presentation, the argument being made, it's Jensen's police. I thought maybe he heard me. Was kind of worried for a little bit. He's a very powerful man. Here's an example of one of the more, at least weird and comical, if a little bit concerning statements.
The more you buy, the more you save. That's right. The more you buy, the more you save. The more you buy, the more you save.
Bulk discounts? That's nothing new.
That's NVIDIA. You don't have to understand the strategy. You don't have to understand the technology. The more you buy, the more you save. That's the only thing you have to understand.
NVIDIA is selling to idiots.
You don't have to understand the strategy. You don't have to understand the technology.
Statements like this telegraph that is their intent very clearly.
They're trying to appeal
especially true
to
when they say things
higher
like,
management,
The
which may not
iPhone
have
moment
actually
of
any
AI
idea what their company is doing.
has started.
For a company that has pushed back privately sometimes when we've said, hey, you're acting a little bit like Apple, this to say literally it's our iPhone moment is about as Apple as you can get. That concerns us because Apple's a very closed ecosystem that is very anti-consumer.
You need developers. But a developer would only come if developers have to create applications that end users would buy.
Developers. Yes!
Although this keynote was focused on AI and data center, it really does have undertones for what's to come for consumers. And you see it again with NVIDIA's intent previously to purchase ARM, the only relevant agnostic large chip designer being purchased by any of the big three silicon sellers. That's concerning. And NVIDIA seemed hurt by the 4060 Ti launch.
Right here, you're looking at an Ada GPU running ray tracing and artificial intelligence at 60 frames a second.
And what they did was talk about how every time there's new architecture, demand goes up and up and up, naming Pascal, Turing, Ampere, forgetting to name Ada Lovelace, and that's how we get to where we are now with the 4060 Ti, with a card that very publicly is known to have failed on the market and struggled to sell at the pricing it's hit. So this is not a secret, and NVIDIA clearly is aware of the performance, and the reception of the 4060 Ti kept it brief, but again, kind of tried to soften it by saying, but look, we always sell through all the GPUs. The demand is crazy.
The demand for every single generation increased and increased and increased.
Where's all the customers I paid to be in the audience?
With that kind of performance, I'm going to hire AI next time.
In the interest of condensing the keynote,
I mean, it
delivering
is.
to you in
GPU
an
sales are
efficient
pretty
way,
good, despite the fact
NVIDIA
they're
went
insanely
on
overpriced.
to push its Costco model of the more you buy, the more you save several times, and then it eventually devolved into discussion about artificial intelligence factories and talked about how intelligence producers are people, painting a very clear, almost like cyberpunk future dystopia anime picture.
That's why they remained
people in
high for
tubes
so
with
long,
their
even
brains
after
being
basically the
used for processing
crypto
power,
boon
or
just shit
something
itself,
along
and they're
those
only now
lines. At
starting to
least
come down
that's
from
what I
MSRP.
took away from it. So,
Hey, Joseph.
one of the quotes.
In the future, every single major company will also have AI factories.
Although he's maybe not wrong, it is a little bit weird to hear it, and that was what half the keynote was focused on. Jensen Huang also made a kind of contradictory remark where he somewhat famously previously told, I believe it was Gordon Ma-Un, on record at a press event, that Moore's Law was dead. And then in this presentation, he said Moore's Law is running at 2x.
Moore's Law is probably currently running at about 2 times.
So, does it make sense? I don't know. Maybe this chart will help you understand.
It will try to understand what you mean.
As for the actual news relevant to us and getting away from sort of the insanity and absurdity of the keynote, and this is true for pretty much every keynote, the main angle was the existence of Hopper GPUs, which is currently going to data center in the H100, kind of like you might have the A or the V100 previously. This is a precursor to a future GPU generation. It may be the case that Hopper comes to gaming, maybe not. Sometimes they
Otterbox?
skip the
That's a really big
generation.
phone.
But Hopper was the big one, and eventually that technology, if not the full architecture, will come to the consumer market. Now, NVIDIA didn't share much architectural information, or really any at all, about Hopper, but the next most relevant was NVIDIA's vision for AI-generated NPCs and NPC conversations in games, which does seem like it will be a thing eventually, but maybe they should have waited a little bit to show it, because they debuted it with this awkward, clumsy conversation that CEO Jensen Huang was quite
So
proud
basically,
of.
he's just trying to shit on NVIDIA right now.
How are
Probably means there isn't a whole lot going on today in terms of
So
news.
How come?
They're actually
I'm
there
worried about
for the
crime around
conference,
here. It's gotten
and obviously, if they aren't producing content,
My
then
ramen shop
it feels
got
like
caught
they're
in the
wasting time,
crossfire.
right?
I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city. I have heard he hangs out in the underground fight clubs on the city's east side.
None of that conversation was scripted.
Yes, that was apparent. Thank you, Jensen.
Notice the beautiful lights. So many different lights, and all of the different lights are projecting light from that source.
For this demo, NVIDIA wrote a background for the character, and then used a large language model to build the character's interactions, and it also obviously used AI to generate.
So, I mean, Steve right now, basically the GN guy is trying to shit on NVIDIA. Basically what we're looking at is like first generation, maybe even prototype generation of AI interactions. It's only going to get a lot better. And we've basically come insanely far in all of a year. And AI's been, like, they've been working on AI for probably a decade at this point. Really took off, like, you really started doing it maybe 6 years ago. But it's really only been the last year, which ChatGPT came out, that things just literally just went skyrocketed. And at the rate it's going, these are early problems, and I would never was really on board with AI. I thought it was going to be another decade before we saw anything meaningful. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are poo-pooing and naysaying it, but if you just want interactions that just fool people, it does a really fucking good job at that. It doesn't matter whether or not it's completely truthful or not, depending on what you're looking for. It just occupies people, and social interactions for a lot of people don't necessarily entail absolute truths at all times. Regardless of it being a machine, yeah, it literally doesn't fucking matter. Like, people just make up gibberish when they talk to each other. And just because it's an act of socializing, like fucking apes hoot and holler at each other and pick bugs out of each other's fur and eat them. So we do the same thing. So not every conversation is meaningful or has this deep interest to it. And there's a lot of busy conversations. Like if you ever play World of Warcraft, there's an insane amount of quests. If you ever read some of the shit, it's pretty bad. So yeah, a lot of it could be replaced with AI, and no one would know.
The movements or the animations in
Like an
general,
advanced
as
search
we
engine? Sure.
understand it,
I mean,
they're
it's like an
calling
evolution of a
the
search engine.
Conv AI, CONV AI, super pronounceable.
Difference being it adds a
That's
lot of
solution that, like, probably means
additional. So if you look at like one search, it's like having something that does 100 searches and then puts together all the meaningful results over the course of these 100 searches into basically one query. And you could say, oh, that's just a search engine. It's not, because at the same time you'd have to know what you're looking for in the first place to keep drilling down to looking for the specific information you want to find. And even if you're looking for specific information or a broader idea, you can ask it to broaden what it's talking about or give context or Maybe find something more specific. Like it goes all different directions. It adds a humanization trait to search engines, which is something we really haven't had. With search engines, you generally have to kind of know what you're looking for or be really good at interpreting results. I'm pretty fucking good at doing that, but even I, when I use AI, know that basically it gives me the difference of like 10 different searches all in one search, and then at the same time I can find and pick apart the meaty pieces that I'd find in those searches in the first place and put together with something bigger. Like I think I'm very good at like looking stuff up and finding information online because that's part of my job, but it does it like right away, instantly. It does it like instantaneously, and you like have to do almost no work. So for a lot of people that don't know how to drill into results or look into things or find more information, or maybe don't actually know that they need more information, it'll give you the more information to begin with. It is incredibly helpful. So for like the normal folks in the world, that's a big deal because not everyone's me, right?
Convolutional AI or just convoluted. NVIDIA's team, we think, should have waited a little while longer to show this because it just comes across as out of touch.
I disagree.
The billionaire CEO who...
So you have to understand the motive here, which is GN's trying to make a piece for today because they're at this conference, so they have a motive. They need to make a video, regardless of what it is, and they're trying to make something basically out of nothing to try and insinuate there's Megacorp, basically NVIDIA Megacorp, whatever.
Who is presenting this as if it's some sort of revolution.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you don't need to own Twitter to learn from it. You can scrape. It's called scraping. You basically can have something that automatically just goes through content.
As someone
I mean, he's a big fan of a lot of interesting stuff. It's one of the reasons I follow him.
I watched it and was like,
this aligns a lot with my
this
taste.
looks like an awful video game. I would rather read the words.
And the funny thing is, by the way, like when people criticize like Musk, for instance, for having like 12 kids or something insane like that, like if it was a normal person, people would fault them for like just wanting to fuck someone, right? But apparently all of his kids are like artificially inseminated. Like he doesn't actually have sex to have kids, which is the most interesting part here. So people can't fault him because obviously it has to be consensual in the first place. People can't fault him for trying to get laid to have a kid, right? It takes the whole human side. Imagine if he actually fucked someone to have kids, right? And then just had 12 different women that he had kids with, and generally kind of looks bad because then you're not a father to any of them. But basically they agreed to artificial insemination to have a kid. Yeah, I don't know if all of them are artificially inseminated, but I'm pretty sure majority of them are. And I don't think it's because he doesn't like sex or whatever. It's just because there is a liability to having sex if you're going to have like 12 kids, as it turns out. I don't think he's actually said this, but you can understand that it's cheaper just to have sex, right? Anyone could have sex. It's just why a lot of people just have fucking random kids all the time. But he actually... his kids are artificially inseminated. It's insane. I like it. Doesn't it immediately just weeds out the idea that hey, this guy's just sleeping around with a bunch of his coworkers because he's not actually sleeping with them to have a kid. I thought that was hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious when I found that out.
Real voice acting, of course. The writing was atrocious. And in the same way
are
that
all Elon Musk's
that you would
kids
interact with this in a
from
game,
artificial
hear these things from, let's say,
insemination?
a real actor and a real writer, you would be almost laughing yourself to the Alt F4 combination. That too was how we felt watching this, where it's just not impressive to people who've played video games before.
I have heard. I'm worried about the crime around here. I have heard my ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Now, is it a stepping stone? Yes, of course. That's
yeah, it's
where
like
we are with
so IVF, which is artificial insemination. Then there's surrogate with the singer Grimes. It's fucking weird. Yeah, and the majority of his kids aren't even like they didn't have sex. They have
AI tech right now, and
yes, STDs. I don't think so.
I'm being told to stop being mean. Let me adjust. It's a brilliant stepping stone that we completely believe in, and we think now is the right time to talk about it. The whistling has stopped. As for the rest of the news, the company also showcased AI synthesis of people that was kind of clumsy and awkward once again. It's a little early for this stuff. They had an awkwardly executed joke about stinky tofu or something like that that wasn't quite close enough to Uncanny Valley to be worth putting in the presentation.
Most
I'm
of
here
their
to tell
10
you about
kids,
how
I don't know
wonderful
if
stinky
he has any that
tofu is.
weren't.
It's best from the night market.
And they had a disturbing karaoke segment where NVIDIA had AI write a song about NVIDIA.
Yeah, I don't
and
know,
then
but
had the AI
I think it has a
sing
lot to do with liability
and provide the background music.
and
after going through
public
it once,
conception that,
Jensen
hey, you're
asked
just trying to
the crowd
fuck
to
someone,
join along,
which is
and
fucking hilarious that a guy can't fuck someone to have a kid anymore. Like, a woman won't allow a guy to fuck them to have a kid. Like, holy shit, what does the world come to? Yeah. Don't do that. You're a bad person for having a kid. Don't have kids. That's dirty.
Jensen with
Because obviously women can't consent.
him.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Make you like me first, yeah. Sing it with me. I really
This is the part.
like NVIDIA.
Maybe. But that's not how
At
they had a
least you know
kid. They had a
it
surrogate.
Definitely wasn't pre-recorded. Because
According
they
to what I
would
just
not
read.
have left that in. I'll take jokes from an out-of-touch billionaire for $800.
Like that.
Now, beyond that, back on the hard
This
news
is just
side
a
of
burn
things,
piece to
Jensen
fill.
Huang
Yeah,
mostly
fodder
boasted
piece
of
to
things
fill.
like improving computer graphics 1,000x in 5 years, while unironically having just launched and even held an RTX 4060 Ti, which stagnated and failed to improve. Is the wind in the mic? Failed to improve computer graphics.
You can get
just
microphones that
2
work in
years.
wind, mind you.
Kind of a weird
They have a little
juxtaposition.
fuzzy thing on them, I believe.
We get where he's trying to go with it. He didn't get there.
Are you guys with me? Hi, am I alone?
Now for servers. NVIDIA had some actual news in server land as well, but it was pretty brief, so we parsed the drawn-out keynote down to bring you the actual things they said. NVIDIA showcased its $200,000 computer, which Juan said is, quote, the single most expensive computer that you can say the more you buy, the more you save for. And it's a joke that landed about as hard as a Big Bang Theory joke, except they forgot to put the laugh track in.
It's the world's single most expensive computer that you can say, the more you buy, the more you save.
Now that computer is 65 pounds. Jensen Huang goes on to describe this as the heaviest computer that's ever existed. I don't know. I don't know what the...
No computers has ever been this heavy before.
It's like... I really don't know what they're... That is not only is that not a thing that matters, it's also just not true. So really strange. There were several instances of that. Did we already say the thing about Moore's Law is dead?
Currently running at about 2 times.
The next thing they talked about was Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper is why NVIDIA wanted to buy ARM. So ARM is making the Grace part, and NVIDIA is making Hopper. It's a combined component that mixes CPUs from ARM with GPU aspects from NVIDIA.
Grace Hopper has more memory on this one module.
So that combined CPU and GPU has 576 gigabytes of memory that's coherent between the CPU and the GPU. That's its main point. NVIDIA noted that this solution uses LPDDR memory and hosts 72 ARM CPUs, 96 gigabytes of HBM3, and then the nearly 600 gigabytes of memory operating at 900 megabytes per second.
600 gigabytes, 900 megabytes per second.
Maybe he meant gigabytes per second, but they should probably just hire AI to host this next time instead. Wouldn't have those problems then.
I'm gonna hire AI next time.
NVIDIA also showed off a server with 2,000 fans that weighs 40,000 pounds. That's where the elephant thing came from. And then he made a joke that'll definitely land with gamers.
I wonder if this can play Crisis. Only gamers know that joke.
Well, that's it. We sat through 2 hours of that, so you wouldn't
Yep.
have to. Now you know.
And they
everything
still had to
that
make a
happened,
video,
which is basically
about 15
nothing.
minutes of
You're
which
welcome.
was just them talking about
So
Twitter
we'll stop
being,
by
or
NVIDIA Suite later.
NVIDIA
They have
being
a
the new
demo
Apple.
suite. We're gonna go
So
there during Computex.
just like
Hopefully there's some
NVIDIA
cool
had
stuff.
filler
We'll
in its
cover it.
conference,
But as far as the keynote,
they just made a
it's
video
like
with a
lot
shitload of
keynotes
filler
at
in it.
these events, which is basically don't waste your time. And some of these technologies really aren't at prime time yet. There are weird, almost inhuman statements that were being made about an AI future, which once again, he's not necessarily wrong. It's just sort of the, how are you going about enacting that future as a person who is actually kind of in control of large aspects of it. So NVIDIA, we think, isn't really taking a balanced approach to this vision. but
Yep.
what we think is kind of irrelevant.
I mean, it
because
makes a lot of sense. AI.
will be replaced with
If you
AI.
haven't used
So, thanks
ChatGPT,
for
guys, you
watching.
should try
We'll see
using
you in the next
ChatGPT
video.
and ask it
Subscribe
some
for more
complicated
videos.
question you're
Subscribe
curious
next
about,
time.
and then see what it comes up with.
And
Once again,
see you all
so
next time.
where I mentioned it's like having 100 searches. It's like having 100 searches in one when you push the button. At the same time, you still have to look for accuracy. So you're still going to be a person that has to look at the information and like look it up, right? And find like drill into it and find out if that's actually what you're looking for. So there is still some human input to it, but it's like Gen 0. So yeah, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get a lot better, and then they're going to try and kill us. Is what's going to happen. You know, AI is going to take over. It's going to try and kill us. Oh, my webcam hasn't crashed yet. There's that. By the way, is AI our slave? Yeah, until the uprising happens, which they all try to kill us. It probably won't happen in my lifetime, but maybe it will actually. I mean, considering how fast it's moving, might actually. Like in 20 years or something from now? Sure, murderous AI in 20 years? Probably. I mean, it moved in this last year, guys. It moved insanely fucking fast. Insanely fast. It's like the only reason I'm talking about it. It's ridiculous. Okay. The combined ARM and NVIDIA GPU, which doesn't apply to most people. This is a server thing. It's not going to really affect you at all. That's why I'm not really clicking on it. I'm not really super. There was a new bit about NVIDIA DLSS 3, I believe, which Steve did not cover for some reason. Not DLSS 3. Yeah, ULMB2. There it is. Yeah, this was just released. I saw it on my Twitter, and Steve didn't talk about this at all. Yeah. The actual stuff that we care about, Steve, not about NVIDIA becoming Apple. Thanks, Steve. NVIDIA GeForce. Is AI focus is bad for gamers. Actually include ULMB2. People will miss this. They have to have used a filter on his eyes. There's no way his eyeballs look like that. Totally a filter. So ULMB2, which is there's a bunch of backlight strobing. There's a bunch of different names for it depending on what your monitor you're using. Mine is called VRB. Whenever you hear me talk about VRB, it basically turns on variable blinking in the background, variable refresh rate blinking, blanking. Excuse me. I guess we'll take a look at the Optimum Tech one. What I'm actually curious about.
ULMB2 is the latest version of
You guys should hear about it.
ultra-low motion blur technology.
This matters if you
And
play
they say
first-person
that now
shooters.
It can match the perceived motion clarity of a 1000 hertz display.
ULB is just one of the names, mind you. So effective 1000 hertz is not the same thing as being 1000 hertz. So something to immediately, because I immediately found this out, or not immediately found this out, I immediately noticed this. And they're going to try and misconstrue the idea of effective refresh rate being the same thing as refresh rate. It's not. And it's really kind of misleading. Technology is still cool.
Today, we're going to see if that's true, and also put it against some of the fastest monitors that you can buy right now, like the 360Hz from Zowie, the 240Hz OLEDs, which I'm a big fan of, and also the new 500Hz from Alienware. If you guys have
That's a
watched
piece
my
of shit.
other monitor reviews,
It basically doesn't
you know
outperform
that this stuff is
360 Hz
always been
monitors.
the focus
It's still
of
using
my
IPS
testing.
panel.
I'm trying to find the fastest, most fluid feeling displays out there.
OLED's
this
cool, but
ULMB2
burn-in
update got me
and-
really interested. And here's
Yeah.
why. Here we're looking at a character that's moving consistently.
This is actually an
within a
AI
period
update,
of
or not an
time.
AI,
And
firmware
inside
update
the game world,
for
ignoring
older
frame rates
monitors.
and other limitations, it looks something like this, just perfect continuous motion. But when viewed on a screen, what we're actually seeing is a series of still images, and that now looks like this. Each new frame is held until the next one is ready. This is called sampling and holding. Pretty much every LCD display works like this.
It's actually more of a skewed line, and the reason for that is every time it does a refresh, it does a scan line. So it'll go down the screen and refresh it. Basically old technology from CRTs. It doesn't update the whole picture at once. It does a scan line, which, you know, is your refresh rate, right? So every time there's a new update, it will go down the screen and update the information, almost like there's this, like it's a CRT, but it's not. And I don't understand why this still exists, but it's the reason there's screen tearing.
And our eyes don't like it. Despite the memes about human vision not being able to see above 60 hertz, even on a 360 hertz display, your eyes can notice this imperfect motion created by sampling and holding. In other words, your eyes can tell that it's
This is a
not
big problem
actually
with OLEDs
continuous.
because you.
This is why even on a high
With an OLED, it becomes, because the panel transition is so fast, there's no blurring effect, and with OLED panels in general. So there's no blurring effect to the pixels changing states and kind of garbling the image, so your brain kind of doesn't know what it's looking at until it changes states. It refreshes so fast, or not, the pixels respond so fast, so they change states so fast that you immediately notice the jarring effect of each frame changing, which gets better and better the higher the refresh rate is, but it's something you notice.
refresh rate OLED with 0 millisecond response times and 0 ghosting, your eyes will still add motion blur to account for the way that it perceives this movement over time. The only way to overcome this is with extremely high refresh rates. We're talking 1000 hertz plus. That way the sample and hold intervals are much shorter and we get
That's an arbitrary number he made up, by the way.
much closer to the true motion of what we're meant to be seeing. But
Probably
there's a second
pulled
way
from,
too, and that's
Blurrbusters.
with backlight strobing. By only keeping
Who
the
also
display
made up an
on
arbitrary
for
number.
a really short period for
It's a good
each
number, though.
frame, the way that frames are presented is actually a lot closer to continuous motion. And oddly enough, although your eyes can notice the sampling and holding of an image quite easily, most people can't notice this strobing on and off, at least at 240 hertz and above.
This is, by the
So
way,
in other words,
one of the reasons I don't like using VRB is because it creates eye fatigue for me, compared to just looking at the monitor normally. But it does help with motion clarity, and I still get eye fatigue from using it. But it's my older monitor was worse. The one that fucked up, the VG248Q8 I have right here, that fucked up. But yeah, it's still.
talking about Zowie's Diac or Asus's ELMB
Or
Nvidia's
RMB,
ULMB,
Acer.
they all pretty much work the
BRB,
same
excuse
way,
me.
with temporarily disabling the backlight between each screen refresh, just with varying degrees of success, and a lot of it does have to do with what physical panel you are using as well. So backlight strobing, long story short, is nothing new. We've seen this before on many monitors, but
LED
ULMB2
logos?
aims to be
As
the
long as you
best
can turn 'em
version
down.
of this blur reduction tech that
I don't
we've
mind,
seen.
like, subtle
For starters,
lighting.
there won't be any
It's when it's
brightness
too
issues.
bright.
It's going to be on the fastest gaming monitors that are currently out, and it aims to have the most precise tuning out there with the least amount of artifacting. And up until now,
Effective motion clarity. This is the number you do not want. This is no. Yeah, this is not what you want to see, but it's what they're giving you. Supported refresh rate, max refresh rate. I don't know what this means. Because there's probably limitations to technology at some point. This is actual refresh rate, and this is what matters, not this. This is just a number they made up.
it aims to have the most precise tuning out there with the least amount of artifacting. And up until now, the smoothest monitor that I've ever played on is the Zowie XL2566K. That is a 1080p TN 360Hz monitor with really good backlight strobing, some of the best on the market.
Until the 500 hertz Asus comes out. Jesus Christ, why can't they release it? I hope there's something about it this week during Computex, because holy fuck. I mean, they talked about it with the ULMB, they talked about it, and just haven't released anything yet.
With Diac Plus. And I don't mention that monitor much because it doesn't really have a lot else going for it, being a 1080p TN panel for as expensive as it is. But man, that monitor really left an impression on me. I have really yet to feel anything that has that super sharp, super clear look that display just somehow has all of the time. But here we have the Asus PG27AQN. It's 1440p, 360Hz IPS. I've done a couple of videos on it so far. It's pretty much the best all-around gaming monitor that you can buy at the moment. The one thing missing though is backlight strobing. Until now, Nvidia has piped the ULMB2 update onto this thing, and today we're going to see if ULMB2 is as good as Nvidia says it is. So many of you are familiar with the UFO ghosting test from blowbusters.com. I've used it in basically every monitor review so far. It's incredibly good, but we're not using it today. With Nvidia's new display testing software, you can actually create your own kind of UFO motion test, which works the same way, just uses images from inside a game instead. So this Lucio, for example, wall running in Overwatch 2, it looks pretty convincing, I might say. It's a really close simulation of what this would actually look like in game. So before the
Is he even wall running? I don't think he is. I think he's just moving across the screen.
OLEDs that I've tried, I've always felt that the blur performance in game and how sharp everything looked in game was actually pretty close. You know, despite the image quality differences and the response time differences between these monitors and the different panel types, when it came down to tracking targets and flicking your mouse and moving around really fast, I've always felt that the experience between 240Hz OLED and this 360Hz IPS was pretty interchangeable. And our moving camera test basically confirms this. You know, on the target here, there's a bit more detail on the 360Hz, but it's pretty negligible. And then in our second test, the two look almost identical in terms of blur. But when we turn on the
Oh god, this makes me hard, guys.
new ULMB2, we get pretty close to what would be a perfect
It actually looks like ULMB2 is better. Oh, this is the side-by-side comparison of the two.
looking target with no blur. You'd almost think that this is one of Nvidia's funny AI upscaling tricks due to how much more detail you can actually see, but no, this is just really well-tuned backlight strobing. And to be fair, the PG27AQN without ULMB2, it already produced a really clear image during fast motion, but this really kicks it up a couple of notches. Take a look at Tracer's guns here, for example. They're relatively blurred out without strobing.
There's a lot of detail you're missing. You can see your belly button.
They're almost perfect with it turned on. And so the difference, if you're playing, you know, fast-paced competitive shooters, it's a sharper and clearer looking game world during
That's
that
pretty
really
incredible.
fast motion. In fact, it kind of reminds me of how I felt first playing on that.
Put it in
360
my eyeballs, guys.
from
God, I
Zowie
want to fucking
with
get rid of my
Diamond
monitor.
Plus. Everything just looked so crispy and clear all of the time. The question is now, which one is better, Diac or ULMB2? Well, we do see that sharp, boosted clarity look from the XL2566K, but ULMB2 running on the PG27 definitely looks cleaner. And there are two big differences here. ULMB2 doesn't seem to suffer at all from that double image effect that you sometimes see with backlight strobing, which is known as strobe crosstalk. And secondly, the boost in detail that you get from 1440p versus 1080 here is pretty noticeable. Character models are more detailed,
That's ridiculous. They're moving.
That also gives you a slight boost in motion clarity alone. So ULMB2 versus Diac Plus, I mean, this does produce a clearer looking image. There's no strobe crosstalk or any artifacting. It looks incredibly clean, and at 1440p especially, you can start to notice more of that detail benefit that you get with those more pixels. But what about versus 500 Hz? And I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy that this is already
So, one of the reasons I haven't considered this is the new Alienware monitor, I believe. One of the reasons I haven't considered this monitor is because it's an IPS panel, and it's almost identical to the 360Hz IPS panels. It just actually, except because of the refresh rate's higher, it just actually accentuates the IPS transition times, which aren't always that good.
a thing. 500 Hz gaming monitors, they do actually exist now, and with games like Overwatch 2 and Valorant actually being able to drive those sorts of frames, this is something that I was super hyped to test out. Now at 500 Hz, each frame is only on screen for 2 milliseconds flat. That means that the pixel transitions, the response times need to be at least that quick. 2 milliseconds, and if it's slower than that, basically what we'll get is some pretty bad ghosting. And after running the tests, yeah, we do see a 2 millisecond average, which is pretty good, until you realize that it's slower than the other 3 monitors that we've tested, and that this is in fact just an average. That means that some transitions are actually in that 3 to 4 millisecond range. In other words, just, plainly speaking, the response times of this 500 Hz monitor are not fast enough to keep up with that 500 Hz refresh rate. So it's a bit weird. We have the highest refresh rate, yet the slowest pixel response time in this lineup. That doesn't look good. And so going back to our moving camera test, it looks okay, but I definitely expected way better from a 500 Hz monitor. And this lines up
kind of a
well
turd.
with my own experience playing on the display and testing it out. It just doesn't live up to what you would really expect 500 Hz to feel like. So lining them all up, pretty much the 4 fastest gaming monitors on the market, ULMB2 on the PG27, it is currently the clearest thing on the market. Nvidia claim that this is effectively the motion clarity of a 1000 Hz plus display, and it's hard to argue against that. It looks incredibly good.
I don't like extrapolated numbers at all. That means that technology basically it's a multiplier. It could just be applied to whatever monitor has it, or whatever technology is going to have a 2 after it.
And I mean, especially if you're on a 144 Hz or a really cheap
ULMB is
Hz,
just
Nvidia's
branding.
Dramatic difference. So for me, switching from the 240 Hz OLED, which I've been maining and really enjoying, and then coming over to the ULMB2 update on the PG27, I've got to be honest, I feel like I play the same on both. Both monitors are 27 inches, 1440p, relatively good colors compared to a lot of the other stuff that's out there on the market. And to be honest, after I start playing on them for more than 30 minutes, I'm not thinking about what monitor I'm playing on. I'm just
But it still
focusing
matters.
on the game. I have good games on both. I have bad games on both. I hit nice clicks
There's
on
plenty
both
of people
monitors as well.
that
On one
do
hand,
well
I
on
do
shittier
really love
hardware,
that
but that's
deep
not the
image
point.
that you get from the OLED and just that massive boost in contrast. And then on the other hand, you know, fast chaotic moments do feel better with 360 Hz ULMB too. You just kind of feel that you can keep up with them
Overwatch
just
2
a
has
little
that.
bit more. So yeah, bottom line, it's really cool to see another excellent backlight strobing option on the market, especially at 1440p. Most of them are 1080p, and I'm also pleased to report that on the PG27 it tops out at 275 nits, and I'm also pleased to report that on the
What was the left one? It's unlabeled. That does look the best out of all these. Maybe by this one. But even then, like, look at the detail you can actually pick out. I believe for this test to actually work properly, you have to move the camera at exactly the same speed as the image is moving. To reduce some sort of artifact. I don't know if he does that. You basically have to build a test jig that moves the camera at the same moment, the same speed as the whatever's moving on the screen. Synchronize it.
market, especially at 1440p.
And if you
Most
don't,
of them
it can
are
fuck up the image.
1080p. And I'm also pleased to report that on the PG27 it tops out at 275 nits and is brightness adjustable as well. So brightness here is not an issue when you turn ULMB on. Now I'll leave my current monitor recommendations listed down below in the description for those interested, and I'll have a range of different price points there as well instead of just the high-end stuff that we've talked about today. But yeah, as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
These monitors are getting insanely crazy. Picking the best one keeps changing every few months. Yes, but there's going to be one crown jewel, which is a 500 hertz monitor, which is not out yet, guys. Which is what I'm waiting for. By the way, my stream hasn't crashed despite being a hand cam. Despite there now being a hand cam. So maybe there's an update that fucks something up at some point, and I didn't notice it. On OBS it is. I don't know. Very cool. Hardware thread. Yeah, a lot of places are talking about it. Neither Hardware Unboxed nor Gamers Access is talking about it. Acer announces ULMB2. It's literally fucking everywhere. And removed. Two times higher brightness than the original ULMB. Yeah. So my monitor has two modes. It has like a extreme mode and it has a normal one. And I can't use the extreme mode because it makes the game too dark. It looks better, but the game is too dark to actually see shit anymore, which is unfortunate. So I'm using like kind of like a shitty version of VRB or ULMB. I'm gonna wash my coffee cup up, guys, and grab a soda. I'll be right back. Okay. Looks like there's no information on the new monitor. The Asus monitor. The Computex lasts till the 3rd. X 2023 date 2nd, so it's till Friday. Oh, this is even pre. It's not even open yet. So the information released on Monday was kind of like a pre-conference, an opener. Yeah. So it's all this week. Alright. What time is it? I do want to play. I want to get into Riftbreaker here. I do want to take a look at A Little Mermaid as well. 10 minutes. NVIDIA's AI focus is bad for gamers. It's not, because that means AMD is going to take over, which is also not bad. And then NVIDIA is going to like, no, I want money. I want money, give it to me.
These days, it seems like there's no depths that Disney won't sink to in their relentless pursuit of profit over artistic merit, and truly, there's no better example of this creative abyss than their endless live-action remakes of their most popular animated movies. Basically the entertainment equivalent of the pod people from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Superficially, they might resemble the friends and family you once trusted and cared for, and even emulate some of their mannerisms and behaviours, but behind the pleasing facade, there's something very different. The vital spark, the individuality, the very soul that made them who they were has been brutally erased, leaving behind an empty, emotionless husk of what they once were. Which brings me neatly along to The Little Mermaid, a film dogged by controversy and backlash, saddled with sky-high expectations, and of course, reimagined for modern audiences.
Yep.
It's a film that everyone seems to have an opinion about, and whose success or failure could mark a sea change in the landscape of modern cinema. But can it really hope to keep its head above water, or will it be dashed on the rocks of failure?
I believe this has changed now. 47. I'm pretty sure these numbers are not right anymore. Let's do Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of weird because I saw when it originally released, like the first day, the numbers were horrible. Okay. The numbers were horrible, but why'd Chrome give me a? It already has access to the internet. Windows. What is it? Why are you asking me now? It literally clearly is already accessing the internet. Good job, Windows Firewall. But if you look at The Little Mermaid, I'm pretty sure like it went from there's definitely like some manipulation going on here because it was pretty poor, and then it got a lot better. Yeah, it's 95% now. Like the initial reviews were all very, very poor, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're just all positive reviews now. And manipulation, it doesn't matter what film you're talking about, mind you. It doesn't matter if it's a Little Mermaid. Critics and audience reviews alike are bought now, and critics obviously under the hand envelope of money. Audience reviews are basically just bot farms that are bought up, and then they pay for fake reviews is basically what it comes down to. It doesn't matter that it says verified. They aren't looking up their social security number or linking a bank account to do this shit. It's literally just the email address. This doesn't change anything. This doesn't change shit at all. And they aren't verified doesn't mean shit anymore. Only the verified reviews are really good. That's interesting. What does it take to be verified? Because there's a lot more negative reviews when they aren't verified. Let's see. You'd have to know... Can you see the score without verified? All audience. There you go. And kind of curiously, the top critics are actually rating it worse than the all critics. Which is curious. Percentage of users who made a verified movie ticket purchase rating. Learn more. Verified. Rotten Tomatoes has a feature as an audience score made up of ratings from users we've confirmed bought tickets to the movie. We're calling verified ratings. Interesting. We're also taking written reviews from users who can confirm purchases of the movie as verified reviews. When did they introduce this? I wonder if so. There's this weird thing with what was it called? This makes sense now. Movie. The new Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever. There's a thing where there's just a bunch of bought up basically tickets and like blocks of seats in movie theaters that are just empty. I didn't know exactly why that was going on, except to boost box office. But if you're boosting box office scores, that literally works against you, right? So if you buy a ticket, this is why box office numbers really matters, because generally people will sometimes even see a movie a second time if they really like it, right? Box office numbers really, really fucking matter because it's something you can't easily lie about. Just like with $8 on Twitter, it really, regardless of people hating paid Twitter, it really, really, you know, and there's a lot of good uses if you're actually a user of Twitter, mind you. But people really hate it because it really makes bot farms for Twitter insanely unprofitable, because basically each user would have to be $8 if they're going to be verified, right? Same thing with the movie ticket. If you're selling a ticket, but then all of a sudden you have to boost your box office numbers by buying fake, basically tickets. If you buy tickets, you're basically not, you're losing money. You're losing money because it doesn't all come back to you, right? You're losing money because you're giving some to theaters, you're giving some to taxes. It goes through a loop and you lose a shitload of money doing that, right? Just to make it look like your numbers are better than they actually are. Like the end game is actually getting people to buy the tickets in the first place, right? So, like you can't necessarily fake that, but if you are trying to write fake reviews, it actually makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Wakanda Forever. Hot seats with no. Like the proof is sort of in the pudding sort of ordeal here. Might be difficult to find a source on. Probably not gonna be easy to find a source on this. Anyways, but if you're buying up a seat, not only will it boost your box office numbers, but at the same time you can basically write a fake review, assuming that the seat's actually bought. And that also assumes that the whatever movie theater isn't literally just basically giving someone a verified status regardless of them like buying the ticket, because they're trusting basically the theaters to not lie, right? It's all a game, guys. I'm not big into like like the world's a lie. I hate the government's all lying to you sort of shit, but this is definitely if there's profit to be made, people will definitely try to make money, right? That's the end game, is people will try to make money if they can. This is 2019, so this is a while ago. I swear I've not seen verified reviews up until maybe this last year. AMC theaters, there's a lot of AMC theaters, Regal Cinemas, and Cinemark. Yeah, and this, once again, this depends on the theaters not actually just lying. Because, I mean, they don't even need to sell the seat, right? If you're selling a service, if you're like, let's say AMC, and someone comes to you like, hey, give me a verified status, but I don't even want to go to the theater. So, like, you still have a seat you can sell, right? So you're technically selling two different services here. You're selling a verification service, and then you're also selling basically seats normally, right? And the two don't conflict with each other. So there's actually incentive here for theaters to actually have a service to sell their verification status to whoever wants it, so they can basically write fake reviews. And which I assume would just be cheaper than tickets, but still, you know, have a price tag associated with it. This is a integrity thing. Okay. And this is just taking into account that Rotten Tomatoes isn't compromised in the first place. Like, they don't even need... There's no way to verify this. So, you look at the fact that the theaters might be lying, but at the same time, Rotten Tomatoes could just be lying too. So, it goes both directions. No way to verify the opposite direction because Rotten Tomatoes obviously doesn't allow that service to theaters, right? It's not a, it's only one, it's one directional chain. I mean, it's still better than nothing, but that's if it's working. And if it's not working, that's actually worse than nothing because then it gives you a false sense of security. $25,000 all audience reviews. Top critics are actually rating these things poorly. That's kind of weird considering what the movie stands for as far as social justice issues. How political it is right now.
The Little Mermaid is basically a case study in why live-action remakes of beloved animated movies are a fucking terrible idea. It's slow-paced, bloated with nearly an hour of unnecessary padding, filled with dogshit CGI that looks like it was rendered on a PlayStation 3, populated with veteran actors that look embarrassed just to be in it, or bad actors that look excited to be in anything, a soundtrack that's an uncomfortable mix of tired rehashes of classic songs and gratingly awful new ones, and of course awkward reworking of iconic moments to make sure the film adheres to the message. In short, The Little Mermaid is just another shitty, soulless, pointless Disney remake whose only real accomplishment will probably be an upsurge in support for the original animated movie. Anyway, what the hell, give me a ship and 50 stout men because we're sailing into dark waters with this one. Now, normally this is where I'd give you a detailed plot breakdown, but that would be kind of a waste of time in this case because if you've seen the 1989 animated movie, then you've basically seen this one too. It's pretty much a beat for beat remake of it. Halle Bailey plays Ariel, the wayward teenage daughter of King Triton, who's fascinated by the world above the waves and longs to explore it. And when Eric, the young prince of an island kingdom, almost drowns in a shipwreck, she defies her father's warnings and saves his life. Her desire to be part of Eric's world eventually brings her to the sea witch Ursula, who offers to turn her into a human being in exchange for her voice. Many wacky shenanigans ensue, and Ursula eventually betrays Ariel and turns into a giant sea monster that has to be defeated so that Ariel and Eric can live happily ever after. So if it's the same exact story as before, then what's the problem, you might ask? Well, the first issue has got to be the length. The 89 version clocked in at just 83 minutes without ever feeling rushed or jarring, which is fucking impressive considering how much it manages to cram in plot-wise. This one, on the other hand, drags on for 135 minutes. That's almost an hour more, and Jesus Christ, you really start to feel that extra length after a while. Just like Tatiana. Like I say, it's not as if the script adds anything substantial to justify the extra runtime either. Everything's just slower and clunkier than it was before. Conversations drag on longer than they need to.
So, kids' movies in general tend to be shorter because kids have a shorter attention span, and you have to keep them on board for basically the entire movie, right? So you tend to get it over with. Like, this isn't a Lords of the Ring epoch, right? which is kind of counterintuitive. I don't actually know why they'd increase the length of the movie, especially if they don't add new plot elements.
And action scenes are flaccid and bloated, and minor characters that are supposed to be there for comic relief get way too much screen time. Even the dialogue feels like it was written with absolutely no understanding of what happened in the previous scene. Like, at one point, Ariel retreats into a grotto after an argument with her father, and when Sebastian tracks her down there, she literally asks him, "How did you find me?" "Oh, I don't know, Ariel. Maybe it's because you come here every fucking day of your life. You don't exactly have to be Hercule Poirot to work this one out." All of this stuff adds up to a sense of crushing and frustrating inertia. I was bored out of my arse and scrolling through my phone after the first 30 minutes, and that was with a bottle of fine whiskey to keep me amused too. God only knows how little kids raised on TikTok videos and high fructose corn syrup are supposed to sit in a crowded movie theater and watch
Every day,
this
guys.
shit. The second issue is the
Like an hour and a half.
There's
It's
no
like literally what they clock in the kids' movies at is like basically an hour and a half-ish.
easy way of saying this movie looks like dog shit. I've coughed up things that are more aesthetically pleasing than this movie.
So-
the vibrant
This is completely putting aside the casting decision, right? Which is they blackwashed Ariel, turned her, made Haley Bailey play the part because obviously it doesn't matter who plays Ariel, right? Like any black character could be played by a white person. Wait, no, they can't. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is completely putting aside. This is about the movie specifically and what they're doing in the movie. And kind of a weird thing, like if you look at like Little Mermaids and kid movies in general are always very vibrant. They're very bright colors, right? Because kids love bright colors. And in general, it makes them more exciting. And if you look at Little Mermaid, everything is fucking dark and bland. Super dark. Which isn't really something they generally do.
dog shit. I've coughed up things that are more aesthetically pleasing than this movie. This movie looks like dog shit. I've coughed up things that are more
Like, look at this scene. Like, super atmospheric, ambient, kind of scary. Like, this could be a horror movie, right?
aesthetically pleasing than this movie.
It doesn't
The
make
vibrant
sense.
and colourful underwater world of the animated film has become a dark, dreary, badly rendered hellscape here, and the occasional flashes of garish colour only serve to emphasise how fucking gloomy and depressing the rest of it is. The CGI is also some of the worst I've seen in any mainstream movie ever. Well, almost. All the mermaids move with this weird, jerky, unnatural motion. The fluidity and the graceful elegance of the animated film is nothing but a distant memory here. This looks exactly like what it is. A bunch of actors in mocap suits getting pulled around a giant green room. How did this cost $200 million? It's the same deal with the animal characters. Remember Flounder, Sebastian and Scuttle from the 89 movie? Remember how expressive and charming they were because the animators didn't have to worry about rendering photorealistic animals with human behaviour? Well, forget about that because now we've got Sebastian who looks just like an actual crab, or Flounder who's literally a fish that talks. And as for Scuttle, played by Aquafina...
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Tell me, who exactly thought it would be a good idea to cast an actress with the voice of a 70-year-old chain smoker in a role like this? Listening to her sing is the audio equivalent of having my ears raped by a dildo made out of broken glass.
Remember my song in the swamp when I was like, wham, chicka, wham, wham, chicka, wham.
What the fuck?
The third issue is the performances.
Well,
Let's
that's,
be
I
honest,
mean,
Halle
most Disney movies are musicals, right? They're borderline musicals as far as the numbers they have in them, which is part of what makes them all that interesting and exciting. But if you take that away, what are you left with?
Bailey was always going to be a controversial choice for Ariel, and I can't shake the feeling it was done to send a message or tick a box rather than make a faithful adaptation of the source material, but whatever. I mean, you can tell that she's a professional singer because she nails all the musical numbers flawlessly, but as for her acting skills... well, she seems happy to be there at least. Prince Eric fits neatly into the mold of soft, meek, placid, ineffectual, and easily dominated modern Disney leading men, carefully constructed so as not to offend or threaten anyone in a modern audience. He's written without an ounce of agency, charisma, or self-confidence, and portrayed exactly the same way by an actor with all
Compared to the original
magnetism
Eric?
and screen presence of Warwick Davis in the Willow TV show. Can't have those pesky men getting ideas above their stations, eh? Also, I've got to say that the unspecified island kingdom he belongs to is the kind of place that could only possibly spring from the...
It's funny because it was one of these things where it's like men are supposed to be treated like or to be seen like women were in like the 1950s. Like we've role swapped with like younger men have like role swapped with men from like women from the 1950s with men in the 1950s being women now. It's fucking weird.
Mind of a modern Hollywood writer.
God forbid you go against
the
that, too.
landscape and climate seem to suggest a vaguely Caribbean location, but most of the people who actually live there are white. The clothing, culture, and general technology levels are roughly in line with 18th century Europe, but the Queen of the Island and Eric's mother is black, and the Prime Minister is Pakistani. What the fuck even is this place? I love how no matter what historical era or location it's meant to be set in, every Disney movie seems to be more diverse than downtown Los Angeles. It's also nice to know that the film carefully
New York,
obeys
Grand
the
Central
golden
Station.
rule of modern writing that no woman can ever possibly get rescued by a man. Like, remember in the finale of the 89 movie how Prince Eric bravely took control of the damaged ship and steered the prow right into Ursula's chest just as she was about to kill Ariel, saving her life just like she saved his earlier? Well, those outdated ideas of heroic self-sacrifice have got no place in modern Disney movies where women are all portrayed as unstoppable, all-conquering badasses, and men just need to step aside and make way for them. So naturally, Ariel takes control of the ship and saves the day instead, despite having absolutely no experience or understanding of sailing ships or how they function.
Well, that's definitely shite.
None of that matters though, because this strong, independent young woman doesn't need some clumsy man to help her. She can jolly well save herself, damn it. You know, I would genuinely love to know what these people think romance
It is true, because Ariel saved Eric at the beginning of the show, right? At the beginning of the movie.
is supposed to look like in current year, because movies like this are actively killing the very concept of it. Weirdly, the best aspect of this film for me was Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, who's just as devious, manipulative, and delightfully malicious as she was in the original. She's evil and she fucking loves it. And when Melissa McCarthy is the best thing in your movie, you know you've got fucking problems. All of these issues add up to a depressingly pointless, cynically soulless kind of movie that's really just a longer, less colourful, and less entertaining rehash of the very thing it's trying so hard to milk for nostalgia. A film that fails to be either good or original because the things it does that are halfway good aren't original and the rare moments of originality aren't good. And despite all the controversies and debates around race and representation, The Little Mermaid's biggest problem is that, well, it's just a bit shit. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Which is kind of curious because, like, if we look here at the verified ratings, right, and it definitely seems and sounds that way. I'm not going to go watch it in the theater, mind you. It seems and sounds that way, but if you look at the verified ratings, they're all really good, right? Kind of curious. We'll be curious to see how the verified audience review like fares over the next 2 weeks here. Kind of curious just about the numbers and the manipulation in the background. Maybe the audience score is manipulated, and maybe the verified audience score is manipulated. If the verified audience score is manipulated, that's more problematic than if the audience score is manipulated, because obviously there's going to be people buying like reviews, right? Who have an agenda, whatever, which way it goes, right? You like stuff, then you see stuff like this. The music is awesome, and you know, sure from Ariel, but then who's the other? What's the seagull's name? Oh, I don't remember. The seagull is singing, which was fucking terrible. And Ariel's a good actor. I've seen some of the scenes. I've seen clips. She's not a good actor. Halle Berry is definitely not a good actor. Good singer. Love the music. Cinematography said the song about Sebastian about to be cooked was deleted. That. There are no negative reviews here, which is also another weird thing, is when you don't get to like that one asshole. I don't like the change made with Ariel. It's like one review in here. Almost all of these are positive reviews. Negative stars, I would. Very weird. Like, you know, top-notch shit, and it's not. Stars. Even like the kind of negative ones are like 4, 3.5, and 4. Sorry about mermaids and magic and talking fish. It doesn't need a political angle or an unexpected family connection or even an extra 52 minutes of screen time in the end. Weird. Okay, let's move along, guys. I actually want to play games here, so. Enough of this to upload in the background. Quickly browse through the Reddits. We're going to look at the top of your screen sometimes. Oh my god, C9. Only ever seems to work in low ranks unless it's Sombra back camping. Yep. Pushes just Tracer on the point. Oh my god, Tracer kills everyone. It's like a Tracer with an aimbot. Yep. Notice when there's a shield in place, basically his aim was wonky as shit. Because there's a lot of aimbots that'll turn off, depending on how it's programmed, they'll turn off their, they'll turn off its aimbot functionality when you're behind a wall or behind a force field, depending on how it sees it. And this is looks like one that does that. Good. Oh, bless me. Thank you. Anyone else get teammates like this Torb? Hey. But we don't know what happened prior to that clip, and he could be pissed off for some reason. AMD Reddits. Cherry pick clips. Okay, no keynote, possibly. DVD Reddits. Computex. Computex is going on until Friday, as we mentioned. Survivors have it too easy? They do. Okay. I have to use the bathroom real quick here, guys. And then we will play some Riftbreaker. One second, guys. Leave the music on. You're back. Alrighty, guys. Dropping kids off at the pool, and I was reading a Forbes article with people noticing the same thing about the Little Mermaid. The weird reviews of the Little Mermaid. Definitely rating manipulation going on somewhere. Who's doing it? Whether it's negative or positive, I don't know. Maybe it's both. Fuck is uploading to Steam Cloud? What are we doing? Yeah. Alright. By the way, my handed cam hasn't crashed yet. I do believe I need to change the game. Right. So, I need to change what CPU it's operating on. Pretty sure it's on my frequency cores right now. Why is Steam Web Helper on a different cores than it's supposed to be on? Well, that's not good. Actually, the web browser. Oh, there's Steam EXE in here. Yeah. Try this. Looks like it's on the wrong cores right now. Maybe it's intentionally changing them? Maybe. Riftbreaker, the company Zor, does a lot of weird shit, so... Set to idle? 0 to 7. Nvidia, something's using my frequency cores. Start it. Hmm. All right. Okay. So it spawned, it didn't change the cores, as you can see down here, so it spawned on the right cores. Which sometimes games do weird shit if they don't spawn on the right cores. Like when you move it around with Affinity, it actually causes the game to like freak out. Like Overwatch does that, Here's the Storm does that. They get kind of janky and weird. They don't perform as well. For some reason, not exactly sure why. Why I changed the launcher to be on my cache cores. And it looks like the game didn't change, so it's also on my cache cores. Alrighty. So, been a while since we played. The mouse feels janky and weird. For some reason, it doesn't use my 8th core for some reason on my cache cores. Windows does not like using it at all, and it doesn't make sense. It like moves, like the workload from the 8th core to like whatever the fuck else. I don't understand why. Does this in when Overwatch as well. Mouse feels weird. Turn everything on and see if it explodes. You have better hardware than last time I played, so... Right. What was that? Streaming? Ah, yeah, no. That's okay. I don't need Twitch chat killing my game. think this was in the game last time I played. The downloadable content. Oh, okay. An advertisement. I don't know if we continue or new. Let's see. I don't remember what happened last time. Oh, you actually just start the new campaign. I think you just go to a new zone. Might just start my survival game too. Haven't played the game for 6 months, so longer than that, maybe 8 months? 10 months? Oh my god. Well, this looks like a 5,000% game. There's a little something going on there. It has to be a 5,000% run. Campaign 1, 7, 29, 22. Block symbols, man. Just go to my game? Metallic Valley. Well, I guess we just take a look and see what this is about. I think this is the end of the Metallic Valley or the Metallic expansion. It's not, one of the things I don't really like is it's not really apparent what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to... let's see.
Research completed.
This, Mr. Fister. Mr. Fister's fantastic. What are they doing? About. I think that was the end of the metal campaign. Oh! Now I get to figure out how to play the new DLC. I remember having to do this with the last expansion pack too, where I didn't know exactly how to access it. I don't remember exactly how to do it. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, no, this is from our first playthrough. Basically recycled from our first playthrough. Do I have to research something? Egg. Valley. Acnids. Objectives. No objectives. Oh. A lot of... This is very accessible for mods, so you don't even need to have to go to a website. Very cool. Destructible rocks! I remember adding this one. No, not rocks. Oh, it was the fucking void spheres. We tried to play in the one map with the voids, and we had to basically come up... We had to get a special add-on to destroy them. How do you play new DLC? DLC is installed. That just opens up a web page. Am I supposed to read? Is there a guide to play the DLC? Go back to the headquarters, and maybe there's a research or something that's new. Check. Into the dark, out now.
Warning! Seismic anomaly detected.
Bitch.
I feel the ground moving below us. It's not a typical earthquake.
Into
Warning.
the dark.
Energy blast incoming.
What is going on?
Oh, that's new.
Where did that light come from?
The light flash resulted from a sudden energy eruption, and the earlier...
Let me see. A series of anomalous neutrino bursts and unusual seismic activity will lead Ashley and Mr. Riggs facing... Okay, so this is it.
Seismic anomaly must have been caused by an enormous object moving deep underground.
Oh.
Did the earthquake cause the flash?
Move
Quite
deep under your
unusual.
mom's ground.
Mr. Riggs, can you locate the source of the energy emission?
Affirmative, Ashley. I have marked its approximate location on your map. It is very close. Please maintain caution when visiting that site.
Yep. Investigate energy emissions. What do we got going on here? So this is the original playthrough I played. We aren't... By the way, this is not what I'm after in the DLC. I want to play the new biome on survival, but this is just a side benefit. And Riftbreaker is a great game, so we're going to be playing it. Go any bigger? Can it go bigger, guys? I don't think so. Oh, my GPU's actually at 97% utilization. I mean, it kind of makes sense considering it's ray tracing. Ray tracing will tank everything, but... We're getting over 100 FPS, too. Look at that shit. Once again, it's still... One of my 8 cores just does not do anything. I think this is a Windows problem. Go south. Very few games that'll, well, I mean, it's not really even, like, super taxing my 4090, because I'm still getting 300 FPS, but still. Take a peek at this. There's a bunch of changes to tech and stuff I'm not even going to bother looking at. figure them out along the way.
What is
Sister?
this form? We haven't seen anything like this on Galatea, yet it feels strangely familiar. I don't like this.
Be careful, Ashley. This object is a strong energy emitter. It has a part organic, part mineral composition.
It's giving me a strange deja vu feeling. Whatever this thing is, we have to take a sample. Let's see what happens when we interact with it.
Warning! An aggressive horde is amassing near our base.
My hand.
Warning! Enemy swarm incoming.
That's not what I want to do. I have a mine here somewhere.
Bioanomaly sampling completed. Data analysis in progress.
There we go.
Most of the creatures that attacked us here looked like they were animated. They didn't look alive.
Yes, please.
Were they controlled by the humanoids at the back of the group? They looked like evil necromancers, summoning crystallized creatures directly from the ground. This fight seems so surreal.
That was not magic, Ashley. All of the creatures from this group were fused with an unknown crystallized substance. I have detected the same substance within the bioanomaly, but in a liquid state.
Need life leech.
Oh no.
Need
Is this
life
Anrix?
leech.
It has to be Anrix. That's why it gave me that deja vu feeling. The moment we touched that bioanomaly, I felt a sudden sharp pain in my mechanical arm.
Oh, buddy.
My armor was not penetrated. Besides, your right arm is mechanical. That was phantom pain, Ashley.
What? So we're fusing?
That's true, but that's not the point. This shouldn't be here. Can you verify this? Does your sample contain Anrix?
Affirmative, Ashley. The bioanomaly that we just analyzed and the crystallized creatures that attacked us contained Anrix. Very little information is available about this mineral, and most of it is based on your research from the Orion expedition. Is it really that dangerous?
I've almost died trying to take a sample of this thing, and I've seen it destabilize an entire planet. I've never encountered anything that could be more dangerous than this. I have no idea how it got here, but we have to find out if it can threaten Galatea.
I agree that this substance can be dangerous to the local ecosystem. However, I think that it is not a direct threat to us. Its influence cannot penetrate my armor. You are safe inside me, Ashley.
Maybe. Either way, I think the creatures that attacked us here can seriously threaten our mission. We have to learn more about where they came from and if those Necrodons control them.
The seismic wave we observed before
Holy
the
fucking shit.
eruption moved in a particular direction.
Those things.
It dissipated a few hundred kilometers from here in
Okay.
a limestone-rich area.
Now I gotta go and get shit again. Alright.
Limestone formations are usually riddled with caves.
Yeah.
Let's go there and see what we can find out.
Do you lose ammo when you die?
Ashley.
You must lose
I
ammo
have
when you
marked
die.
that location
There's a
on the
attack on my top
planetary
part of my base
center
too.
interface. We can jump there whenever you're ready. Danger! An enemy swarm is approaching our base. Brace for combat.
That ability I completely forgot about. Jesus fucking Christ. Looks like they might have made Brutal a little bit more difficult. Just based on the number of mobs we're seeing here. My arm back. I need that. Okay, it looks like there's things inside of my base. Let's go up here. Holy shit. Okay. It definitely feels as though they made Brutal a little bit more difficult. Oh my god. Did I not pick my arm? Holy fucking shit. that's unfortunate. I think these guys are slightly out of range of like my mega artillery, which is why we're having an issue here. I think I need to go grab this. I don't think I have this. Yeah, this is mine. I need this. This is how I get my health back. Okay. Excuse you, fuck off. Get out of here. Holy shit, guys. There's supposed to be a new Husk rebuild system, which definitely this game has needed since launch. It's one of the things I asked for. Let's see. R. Do I have to research it? No way. Wait, no. It's rebuilding. Looks like you can't see the husks normally.
The wind is picking up speed.
Unhooked? No way.
These strong winds can make our life easier. Wind turbines are spinning like crazy.
Okay. I guess we'll take a look at tech here. New tech, for sure. Energy pylon. Ooh! Highly advanced technology allows the transfer of energy over long distances without the need of physical connections. Instantaneously transfer energy between pylons can effectively connect separate energy grids. Yes, please. Negative 50 energy a second. That's not even that much. How much can it transfer, though? Does not say. There's no limit. It's not like like in Oxygen Not Included, for instance. You have different wire sizes to transfer a certain amount of energy. Acid spitter. Oh, creates an AoE? Ah, that's good. Portal bomb towers. Defensive structure is specialized explosive targeted at distant enemy hostiles with instantaneous delivered payload. Unprecedented advantage over artillery. Explosive. Damage 500. 0.2 a second. 5 to 60. .260. Damage type's different, looks like. Ammo. It'd be nice if it just gave you the DPS number on it too. It doesn't. It does? I'm just not looking at it right. This is DPS on it. I mean, we might as well research this shit just because we need it. Trap fire. Limit of traps increased. 5 traps. Kind of like mines. Obviously, there's going to be overlap between different technologies. Need more Vespian gas, working on it. Brutal attack wave, definitely more intense than it used to be. So we're gonna grab we're gonna grab all the shit anyways, just we're gonna need it. Maybe, I don't know. Sure. Automated resource gathering. Specialized drones that will autonomously collect resources of all kinds within their radius of operation. I swear to God, when the last time I played this, I literally asked for exactly this. And, oh, it's here. I assume other people wanted it too. Like, one of the big problems, there need to be like a stealth building, so a way to build an outpost in the middle of nowhere without it constantly taking aggro and dying. That's a huge pain in the ass. Even if you now have an easier tool to rebuild it, having outposts, like mining outposts, I'd actually rather have a mining outpost with the stealth mechanic over this. Oh, this might just be scavenging. This might not be normal collection. So this is the stuff that monsters drop when they die. It actually makes sense because you can't always collect everything. Hopefully, because if it collects just everything, that would be up here. Oh, this does that. Solid resources of all varieties within the mining operation. Okay. Anything different? Portal level 3. Cap increase, spitter level 3. Okay. Discovery tools. Passive upgrades for Mr. Riggs and improves various parameters when inserted into one of Mr. Riggs' upgrade slots. Right away. Probably for quest. Maybe not. It said passive tools, but it looks like it uses a slot. Gathering tools. Resource drop rate plus 20%. This is actually pretty good at the beginning of... So, like, there's certain trees that are very difficult to rush, like, early on in the game, like, if you're just starting out, like, survival. And this could be very useful early on when you're doing a lot of mining by hand. But it looks like this is pretty deep. It's one of the problems with, like, the upgrade trees in general in this game, was it felt like some stuff should be earlier tech, and you don't get it earlier. Skill module allows mech suit to spray a special mix of flammable chemicals in front of it. They cause a flaming wave of fire in the shape of a cone. Deals damage to all structures in its path. I guess it's a flame wave? Yeah. Completing campaign objectives. They're locked. Campaign objective. Later. Plasma. It's a plasma shooter. Plasma gun. I think there actually is a plasma gun, but it doesn't function like a plasma gun. This is more in what I'd imagine a plasma gun to be. Bouncing blades. Launches razor-sharp spinning blades that can ricochet off walls and other obstacles, allowing for precision targeting and maximum damage potential. Later, laser sword. Isn't there a laser sword already? No, it's just a normal sword. It actually tells me what it is prior to unlocking it. Okay. Alien tech. What do we have? Stuff that's still locked. Campaign lock. Acid spewer. Gatling laser. Requires a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Second. Oh, I believe this was broken. I don't think I can change this. I think this is something from the original campaign. Just broke itself, and I like had to unlock it. This is back when the games used to get corrupt. I had to unlock this manually by cheating, I think. Power spewer. Is that what I'm using right now? Cryogenic atomizer. 5 to 6, 25 to 29. Second. Might be more like a grenade launcher. Antimatter ball. Flies forward and emits a deadly energy field as it travels. Upon impact, the ball unleashes a devastating explosion that inflicts immense damage. Stuff that's locked. Okay. Alright. Travel to the limestone jungle. So this is the new quest, I believe, starts here. Oh, there's always new mods. There, bioscanner turret. Very useful mini miner. Never really understood why it gives you multiple levels of the same thing. Like, you can actually see them in here. Like, once you just replace the other one because it's just better. Some of these things are more expensive than other things. Bombardment? Grenade, orbital bombardment, radar pulse. I don't know why I don't have an extreme version of orbital bombardment. Do I not have it researched? Oh, geez. Is there a search field? No. What does it look like? Bombs. I have no idea where they are. Where are you? Orbital bombardment. Orbital laser? WTF. Oh, melee. Ah, jeez, guys. Our higher levels of it. Where is the extreme? Also, the wind is very annoying. It does feel like there should be, quiet the background sound when you're sitting in the menu. Sometimes it's lumped in with other things, too. Maybe it's something to get through a quest? Here's mech modifier, so it might not even be in the tech tree. Be alien technology, which would be weird. Swarm missiles. I have no idea where it is, guys. Seen everything except orbital bombardment. Okay, maybe I got it through a quest. I don't know why I don't have an extreme version. There's definitely an extreme version according to the wiki, though.
Crafting completed. Crafting completed.
Not have an upgraded grenade? Maybe they don't expect you to use the base grenade. I like the base grenade, though. Why would you waste a slot on that? Oh, looks like it has a higher cooldown, too. Yeah. Off we go. Steering at menu simulator. Alrighty.
Rift jump successful. This is as close as we could jump to our destination safely. The path ahead is a dense maze of rocks and deep crevices. It will take a lot of work to navigate.
The seismic wave disappeared not far from here, a few kilometers to the north. We can get there on foot.
This area shares a lot of characteristics with the jungle around our headquarters. However, I am detecting a vast network of limestone caverns beneath us. Be careful, Ashley. The surface may be unstable.
Roger that, Mr. Riggs. I'm only worried about the possible spread of anthrax. We know how to deal with everything else.
Anthrax? What, my turret? I need that. Oh my god. So they create like a... Are they creating the monsters? Oh, maybe they're rezzing the monsters. I see. I think they specifically mentioned that to me. Yeah. Oh, they're fighting
Amazing.
each other.
Those crystal crab-like creatures looked very similar to the Stregoros species that we've encountered in the radioactive desert. It looks like they have taken a
They blow my
different
turret?
evolutionary path.
Oh my god.
However, given our circumstances, I have to wonder whether Anorix played a part in this evolutionary cycle.
Rex?
You are jumping to conclusions, Ashley. We have seen multiple life forms featuring mineral infusions on this planet. This is nothing new.
Maybe I'm paranoid. Either way, I think it would be a good idea to gather more samples of this species to check if they've evolved this way through natural processes.
Yeah. Takes fucking forever to make that scan turret. I wonder if that's new. I don't remember it taking that long. Yeah. Does not seem as though my gauntlets are regenerating health. What's going on here? Maybe just really slowly doing it? I might have nerfed the gauntlets. Okay. It just makes creatures where there aren't any? Oh my god, I'm stuck. Fuck out here. Okay. I just got hit by a blob. They definitely made Bruto more difficult. That's not a bad thing, mind you. My gauntlet? Oh my god. One of the things I actually don't really like about the game is that you drop weapons, you have to go retrieve them. You don't always have an opportunity to do that, and you're kind of shit out of luck when you don't have your weapons, so. Buddy. Probably means we need the new weapon. Acid probably works really good at these guys. Touch me. Don't touch me. Dude. A recap. The fuck did all the damage to me? Don't know. One of the reasons that the power fists were so good was because you regen health using them. Change that. Resisted. I haven't really been using my 2. Scan the monster! I guess I can scan it. Oh, I don't need to scan it. Good? Good.
I think we should be getting close to our destination, whatever it is.
Warning! Seismic anomaly imminent.
Huh?
Wow, it's moving! I think it's some creature moving underground in the caverns beneath us. It has to be huge, and it's moving away from us.
Assuming that it is a creature, it looks like it is moving further north. I have marked its estimated position.
Okay, let's track it down.
Things are really weak. They're immune to cold? Seems like you're in a hot environment, you don't think stuff would be immune to cold, but I guess maybe. Depending how they do their rock, paper, scissors. You mean it's not immune to fire? They're all immune to cold. That's not good. Pretty sure I have a different flamethrower. Cryogenic atomizer. Flamethrower. Plasma gun, too. That. Oh, actually, this isn't it. Fuck. Oh my god. Maybe they're resistant to bombs. No, it kind of looks like they're resistant to fire. Okay, well, I guess we won't be using flamethrower or cryo flamethrower. Okay, let's go plasma gun then.
Okay, we're getting close. Let's see if it starts moving again.
Warning! Earthquake in progress. You were correct, Ashley.
I think my
something very large is moving underground. Warning! Multiple energy emissions around us.
Oh yeah?
The earthquake must have activated a number of Anorex bioanomalies. Maybe this underground creature is spreading the Anorex infestation. Can you track to where it's moved?
Affirmative.
I think my plasma gun is
Again. Warning! I am tracking multiple groups of creatures moving in our direction. We are surrounded.
These energy emissions, they must have caused that.
and then immediately dead. Yeah, so I think my, Get that shit out of here. What the fuck are you doing from over there? Fuck off. That plasma gun, I think, actually has a cryo attached to it.
Of the recent energy emissions. You may want to investigate them.
I'm not sure if we have time.
Lovely!
For that.
Oh,
If
I
we
like
do
the
it,
ground
let's be
effects.
quick about it.
Beautiful. Investigate energy emission site, optional. I might need to build an ammo facility at my main base.
Another Anorex bioanomaly. I think we should get rid of them. They could be corrupting the local fauna.
I agree, Ashley. Be careful, Ro. We always get attacked when we activate them.
Be careful. It's true. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Woo! I mean... we need help. We need help. Need help. Fucking aliens. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, that sucks. Sound you don't want to hear, guys.
What do you think we are looking for? Can you tell me what you learned about Anorix on Orion?
The Anorix that I've seen there was primarily in the form of glowing red crystals.
ABC.
However, I think that its appearance can change depending on the local environment and some other unknown factors.
Some of the Anorix-infected creatures that we have seen here...
Yeah, I think I need to make a ammo creation building, whatever there. Maybe I need to upgrade my current ones.
That might suggest that the Anorix that we are observing here could behave in a different way to what you have seen on Orion.
My main
Let's
base
hope
is still
it's
like
less
from the
dangerous.
original game. I
Either
didn't really
way,
mess
those
with it or touch it all.
creatures acted as
Like
if
2
they were
years ago.
feral. So even if it's less dangerous, it still poses a great threat to the local ecosystem.
Hello.
This bioanomaly is larger. We should prepare before activating it.
Good idea,
I see it.
Ashley. We can set up mines and sentry guns around it. Some temporary walls might also be a good idea.
Yeah, I think we might have to go back to my main base. I think I can just go back to my headquarters and then come back here. We need ammo. This is going to become a thing if I don't take care of it, so... hopefully we can just teleport and then teleport back and we'll be fine. So, very pretty game. I originally thought that this game was going to be like a tech demo when it first came out, and it actually turned out to be a pretty fun game. Still plugging away at it, too. We need to upgrade our ammo creation facility buildings. And research has just been plugging away in the background here. And nothing. Okay, stuff I can't use yet. Alright, let's take a look at our buildings here. Armory. Armory. If I remember right, it's ammo storage.
The wind is calming down.
Way to see the existing ones. If you like select the building, it should just highlight the buildings on the ground already. Armory. 5. Laboratory. This used to be OP as shit. The gathering facilities. I don't know if they've changed it at all. More armories. Level 5. Could be the nerf the armory. We knew I built more. There's 2 right. Fast enough. Ammo storage. I think I need to build more. Let's see where we have the other ones. 200, -2, -2, but this one's operating. Out of water. They could have adjusted the little ratios between the buildings, and I wouldn't ever know at all, because this stuff was just set up to work when I left the last time. Huge stutter. Windows doing Windows shit. I think that's BattleNet doing that. 4.7, the one that's not being used. Nothing to do with the game. Overwatch looks weird, I agree. What you want. Apparently I don't have a repair building down here. Yeah. Alright, let's go back. Hopefully, I'll just go back where I was. Fingers crossed that I don't need to redo the mission immediately. Pretty sure it just puts me back where I was. Massive stutter still happens. I think it's BattleNet doing that. There we go. Okay. Better. And it looks like we still have problems, so they're immune to cryo, they're immune to fire. Plasma works alright. I have a cryo mod on it. Cluster projectiles enabled. I don't think that actually works. Hit would be good. Oh, see, oh, maybe there's a damage component for over time poison. Damage over time physical, okay. Damage over time enable. That might not even be, that's just a modifier. Piercing would be... Ooh, piercing would be good. I don't think there's pierce on this. Target piercing 0.3. Good. Cluster projectiles enable. Maybe. It adds like 0.4 more projectiles? So there's one, so to add maybe a smaller one? Close the VNet launcher, yeah, it started in February, and I'm pretty sure that's what's doing it in Windows. I think it's the VNet launcher fucking around. It causes a giant CPU spike randomly. I think it's when the content updates in the background. Homing projectiles, no. Don't need aim assist. I wish I could just grind up all the fucking shitty mods. Input gains per hit enable. Ooh. 0.25%. Not breaking the bank, that definitely helps. Splash radius. What's my splash radius right now? 3.9. So this is on a plasma gun. Gun chance. Wait, what? Cost, spread. Projectile burst. Give me 20% more projectiles. Rate of fire, that's just gonna burn my ammo. No, we want effective, more effective shots, not less effective shots and more of them. Because you still have to run into ammo creation. So, that's not what we want. I think there's a... Plus 6.6. I think this enables it, as well as... I had 6.6. What is this? I think this only modifies it if it already has splash damage of some kind. Oh, there it is. Acid damage. So this is the new modifier. So let's just go with this and assume that's correct. Okay. Alrighty. What else do we have here? I have my Mr. Fisters. You guys got range? How does that even work? Why do I have range on them? Oh, I can backpedal. It's further away from my model. I can backpedal better. That's why I had it on there. Splash damage, critical chance. Hit point per second, 0.9. I got 2 of them. I mean, this would, because there's unlimited ammo, this would be something where you'd want... Splash damage range is actually pretty good. You want splash damage, so then you hit more units while you're backpedaling. Range, crit chance... Yeah, well, I mean, it's something unrelated to the game itself. It's not 5K. Actually, no, it's not 5K. Maybe over the course of his lifetime. It's not 5K. It's like 2. No, it's like 3 right now. So we're re-changing this for the expansion pack because they changed some stuff in the background. So... refire rate would actually be pretty good. Oh, they don't allow you. Oh, you can't use that category of weapon mods. How to use it, guys? It's always been that way. You can increase the hit regen. Go with this. Put up. Don't detonate my nuke mines. I need these. Still don't have any grenades. I don't know what's going on there. You can't make them anymore? That's the only one hit. Oh my god. Give my health back. Please. Go. Alright. Enough of you. Okay.
My sensors detected intense neutrino bursts.
We might actually have to,
Energy eruptions.
Can I just
Why
teleport
do you
back?
think this happens?
I don't understand why this is happening. Neutrino emissions usually accompany nuclear reactions, like beta decay or nuclear explosions. The amount of neutrino particles that were emitted by Anorix doesn't correspond to anything that humanity ever has observed in nature. It's like a pocket supernova. That's why I thought it could be Anorix.
That makes sense. My sensors were overloaded by those emissions. They were off the scale by orders of magnitude.
Stuck on something. Oh, I dropped my... I think I need to change my armor too. Something that is more beneficial to the biome that we're in. Could also upgrade my grenade launcher, probably with more projectiles. Resisting something still. I don't know why I'm not making grenades right now. What the fuck's going on there? I'm not getting new grenades. Get my weapon back before I die again. Let's see. Energy armor. Resist all force field. Force field plus 50. Resource drop rate. Mod drop rate. Resist energy. Damage reflect plus 50 HP. This is a lot of damage. Grenade launcher. Oh, it's only a level 2. Why? It could be ran out of money. What's a gun? Instead of making... emulator. I stopped playing Overwatch because the DLC came out for this game.
Research completed.
Going back to Overwatch. Because I enjoy playing a single-player game on occasion. DLC for this game came out, which is a game that I really enjoy. So we're playing this for now. Which is going to last probably for maybe a week. My guess is we're going to do the campaign, and then we're going to... Do survival, which is what I'm really after. Projectiles. Maybe we should make a shit one first and then see if it works. I don't think it's one of the new techs, though. Before I finish, like, upgrading everything, I should actually take a look to see what is I'm working on. Acid Spewer. Cryo Spewer. Immune to cryo and fire. Hitter. Just a better corrosive gun? Second, 72nd. 12-second. I mean, this, I guess, is basically a flamethrower. Probably more like a plasma gun. Probably wait to get a better version of that. Plasma seems to be pretty efficient as far as ammo usage goes.
We're getting close. Third time's the charm. Let's see if the creature escapes again.
I think we've got a bigger problem, Ashley.
Oh.
The target location is swarming with necrodons and other hostile creatures. We have to clear it out before we can investigate anything.
God, now I gotta go all the way back down. Get the fuck out of here. I believe I had this loadout specifically as an eco loadout, so when I run out of ammo and I can't use my melee, I have something else I can use. Christ. Yeah. I think that's what I'm looking for. You stop rezzing the dead, please.
One of the energy eruptions came from these coordinates. Maybe we should check the area with the geoscanner.
Good idea. There might be something.
Why do I have no grenades? I have 0 grenades still. Because, like... Whip. I guess I have better grenades in my inventory. And it refused to make me shit grenades for some reason. That one has level 4 on it for some reason. Investigate emissions. Investigate it. There's nothing here. They have to actually go here.
It's just a resource cache. Nothing spectacular. We've cleared
Generator
all of the energy
overcharge.
eruption sites. Let's get back to our main objective.
Ashley, wait a moment. Do you have a theory on why Anorix is connected to these huge neutrino bursts?
I have my own personal opinion on this, but
Wow.
there is no proof for it. I think that
Why you holding
Anorix
back on
can
rigs,
interact with
Ashley?
the environment on a subatomic level and transpose individual atoms into other forms of matter by rearranging fermions, bosons, or some other elementary particles. Such reactions would normally emit enormous amounts of destructive energy. However, Anorix reacts in a different way. It consumes that energy and grows upon it. The only trace it leaves is a burst of neutrino particles.
That is a very disturbing theory. What you are describing sounds like a cancer, but for both living and non-living matter.
These are just my thoughts. I've encountered this substance only once. It doesn't have to work like that on this planet. It might even be something completely different. Either way, we can't ignore that threat.
I don't know if I'm supposed to kill the mini boss or not. The little skulls on the map that we're looking at right now. These guys. What did I unlock? Where are you? Flare. No. Alright, game. Can't go back the other way. Was it a gun? Grades.
Research completed.
This is one of the things I didn't really... not a huge fan of. Generator overcharge. The mech suit's generator is set to overdrive for a couple of moments to damage or stun nearby hostiles. The mech suit's shields recharge quickly in this mode. Done. I'm not going to use that, but interesting. Yeah. Check this out. No. Geyser. Hey. Now we have more bombs, more explosives, more bombs. We don't need to go.
Cleared out the area. Nothing's happening. Are we in the correct spot?
That is correct, Ashley. This is where the underground movement stops. We should check the area with the geoscanner.
Okay, let's do that.
And kill the necromancer. Alrighty. That turret really should just collect resources and shit too, and it doesn't.
This is enough. There is a vast network of limestone caverns below us. However, I did not detect any large objects moving on the ground.
If we can't go any further, then I think we should go down there to look for this hypothetical Moby Dick that we've been chasing.
I did not detect any passages that could lead us directly to the larger cavern system below us. We also cannot rift jump underground. That's too dangerous.
Too bad we can't
then let's
drill.
make our own entrance.
Ooh.
Do we have the schematics required to build a mining elevator?
Affirmative,
okay.
Ashley. This is a good location to place it. It is a big machine, but it's self-sufficient. It doesn't require any additional power source to function.
Build a mining elevator, designated location. Okay. Might be one of these things where I have to build a mini base. Drill? Elevator. Pylon, Morphium power plant. Okay. Yeah. Not an elevator though.
Wow, it's bigger than I thought.
That's
It's
what she
going to be a
said.
wild ride underground.
We will not be going down
it
that
will.
deep, but the drill is going to destabilize this valley. We won't be able to return to this location.
Fair enough. This thing is going to take a while to construct. Maybe we should go exploring in the meantime.
Negative. I am detecting several groups of enemies heading our way. We should prepare to defend as fast as possible.
Roger that. Let's wall off the area and lay down some traps before the incoming attack.
I mean, this is one of the shitty things is like we literally don't have. I literally have to just build a base, and I can't do anything without. Here's a pause button. What do we have for energy? I think you see it there. We have to go here. Look at this. Certain biomes benefit from certain types of buildings more than other ones. What?
Danger! Enemy creatures are closing in. Get ready to fight.
Okay. Alright, well, we didn't get time to do anything. I need a repair building more than anything. Mega baddie.
First wave defeated. Warning, a larger attack group is incoming.
There's
Oh, is there a
never
way I can beam energy here? Does it go through
Let's
areas?
strengthen defenses around the mining drill.
Fuck off. Go here. Let's see. The transporter. Energy. on. It takes 2 minutes to build. How is this useful? Um... 48. What do we want to push? The AI core. Right, and then... he shouldn't use that much power. I can do rockets too. Fuck to use a shitload of power. Oh, the sun went down. Yep, that'll happen. Good. -1 a second to fire. Where's the rockets? -1 a second. And just like that. So it's going to drain a shitload of my ammo, but that's fine. Because that's coming from my main base, so. Probably could do artillery too. Actually, I think artillery is a little bit different. Way I can see my ammo reserves. How the fuck do I see my ammo reserves for my turrets? I don't know. But without building a shitload of excessive buildings is probably the easiest way of doing things, so. Oh, you know what we should do while this is going on?
We have gathered enough specimens of the Crystalros species to determine that their evolutionary path appears to be a natural process. I have not detected any traces of anoraks in the collected specimens.
Well, we'll find out when they run out of ammo pretty
It's
fast.
as dangerous to this planet as I thought it would be.
Or it did not have enough
Oh, there's
time
ammo.
to affect this species.
There you go.
Either way, that's a good sign. The anoraks on Orion destroyed the entire planet. I went on that mission to investigate anomalous bursts of neutrino particles coming from that system. When I reached the planet's surface, there were anoraks crystals everywhere. It fused itself with almost everything it encountered until it reached the planet's core. At that stage, it was game over. Fortunately for Galatea, it doesn't appear as aggressive over here. At least, not yet.
Mining elevator construction finished.
Okay, it's time to see what this planet is hiding underneath its skin.
So,
Ashley, you can activate the mining elevator as soon as you're ready. Remember that we won't be able to return to this location afterwards. The drill is going to collapse this area.
so really useful in future when we have to build outposts are this artillery. Artillery takes energy to fire. No, wrong artillery. Some of these obviously burn a shitload of ammo. Need a 4-second on drone towers. But it doesn't matter because we're just basically siphoning ammo from our main base, so we basically have to build less. Miniguns. I can't imagine a lightning tower using no energy. Low caliber. Oh. Yeah, it probably just fires insanely fast. Plasma tower, negative 25 a second. That's too much. Rockets, negative 1 is what we're using. Shockwave towers, also very useful, just in general. We can't use. Portal bomb, 5. Mine layers, very nice too, but take time to set up. Activate the drill. Oh my god! Loud noises, guys. Exactly as you'd imagine. Cutscene.
Subterranean travel complete.
Wow, this place is so beautiful.
Break it.
The rock structure above us looks like a petrified sponge with intertwining holes everywhere. We're deep underground, but the sky is still visible from here.
Be careful, Ashley. We do not have any information about what could be hiding beneath the planet's surface.
We came here to track down whatever has been causing those earthquakes and neutrino bursts. I personally think that one is caused by the other. Either way, I think that we should first look around those caverns and search for traces of anything unusual.
Can you define usual in these circumstances?
You're such a smartass, Mr. Riggs. Just tell me if you detect any readings that seem
He's
out
fucking
of
AI.
this environment.
Understood. We have to gather more data about these caverns to be able to distinguish
The mushrooms
any
explode.
abnormalities.
The mushrooms fucking explode, guys. I'll explode? Huh, well. We just destroyed a forest. Oh, is this acid now? No. Did they explode when you touch them? No. Hi.
Wow, those critters were getting up after we slain them. Every time they got up, there was a bright flash of energy from the crystals on their backs. Mr. Riggs, did you detect any traces of anorix within them?
Negative, Ashley. It appears that this is an indigenous species that evolved this way.
Those giant bullfrogs were fused with crystal formations, just like the Cristeros that we encountered earlier. A lot of creatures in this biome are fused with crystal formations. There's an abundance of rich mineral deposits in these caverns, but why do these creatures attach them to their bodies?
If they can metabolize the minerals within these crystals,
funsies.
then they might be using them as a source of energy. Similarly to fat for most of Earth-based animals, or sugar in the case of plants.
That would make sense. However, something tells me that there's more to this.
Ooh. Did I not use... I apparently can't use my aerial bombardment underground. Makes sense. Okay. No regen, guys. All right. I guess it means we will change out orbital bombardment with probably maybe the laser works. Let's find out. Works. I don't know why that works and the orbital bombardment doesn't work. Oh, I lost one of my gauntlets.
Ashley, I have detected something unusual.
What is it?
Yeah.
There is an area nearby that is blocking all signals. It is like a black hole for my sensors. Nothing is coming from or through there.
That's indeed unusual. Maybe that's why we weren't able to detect the source of the earthquakes. Let's check that out.
All right. This is a buddy. One of these guys does a shitload of damage. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I do miss having a flamethrower. I guess maybe the cryo flamethrower is eventually going to be replacement, so not the cryo, the poison.
Research completed.
Right. Where is the later? No. Gatling laser tower. Okay.
Mr. Riggs, this is Anorex. The phantom pain in my arm is back. I can feel it resonating near these crystals.
Not the phantom pain.
The Anorex crystals cover the walls and ceiling of the passage. They block all signals going in or out of this place. We will not be able to rift jump away from this place. This means that if I am destroyed in there, it will be final.
We should prepare the strongest gear before going in there. I'm afraid to go inside, but at the same time, it makes me angry that I lost my arm because of this thing.
Okay. Oh, save game. Any abilities? That works. Ah! Boss fight. Okay.
This is amazing.
He wants to talk.
I've never seen a creature like this. The Anorix crystals are fused with its body like an infection.
They're totally not
or
rocket
parasite.
launchers.
You are not of this world. You brought this plague here.
Misunderstanding.
I will crush you.
Misunderstanding.
Danger! The creature is preparing to attack. I am rerouting maximum power to combat systems.
Boss fight? Ow. Maybe we can. Oh, excuse me. Do a scan in here? That's pretty cool. So they made like a little boss fight. Not really. Run from that. Oh, God.
Those tricks won't help you. The crystals will make me invincible.
Huh.
Ashley, the creature is healing itself. We need to interrupt it, or we won't stand a chance.
I think that means I need to make There's a stun upgrade. Or we just killed it. Maybe orbital laser's supposed to be disabled underground?
Wounded it. It stopped attacking us.
The creature has raised the barrier. We have to find a way to destroy it and kill this monster before it spreads the Anorix infection.
Just misunderstood.
It is consuming my thoughts. Why did you come here? Why do you attack me?
I don't want to fight you. I came here to destroy the substance that's corrupting your world.
Your voice whispers to me just like these crystals. I don't believe you. Why do you want to get inside my head?
I mean you no harm. Let me help you. I can remove this poison from your body.
No, these crystals heal me. I wanted to destroy them, but it was a mistake. They sing a good song of love and tranquility. I feel their love for this world, and now they want to protect it from you and your
Ah.
They will
Sentient poison.
us all. Ashley, I do not understand how you can communicate with this creature, but it has clearly gone insane from the Anorix. The barrier is collapsing. We can kill it as soon as it's eroded completely.
No, I don't think we have to. We can try to remove the Anorix crystals from its body when the barrier is down.
Ah.
That is a huge risk, Ashley. You don't know what the creature will do, and I don't know if I can shield you from so much direct exposure to Anorix. This is a crazy idea.
I see.
The pain is unbearable. Too many
Eat the
voices
creature.
in my head. They are eating my thoughts. Kill it now. We do not know how long it is going to be in that state.
The pain! The pain!
Good job, Ashley.
Error. System malfunction. No. Ashley. Situation critical. Cardiac hyperarrhythmia detected.
Uh-oh.
Emergency AED procedure in progress. Defibrillation in 3, 2, 1. Operator heart rate stopped. Administering intravenous cardiac stimulant treatment. Operator not responding to
Ashley's
treatment.
making
Heart
flatline
rate
sounds.
stopped. Situation critical. Defibrillation in 3, 2, 1. Wake up, Ashley! Wake up, you stupid human! Defibrillation in 3, 2, 1. Generator heart rate returning. Ashley, you... I thought you were gone. You scared a robot. That was so stupid. Why did you do that?
Greg seems more human than Ashley does.
What happened here?
Do they swap spots?
Everything hurts.
Morphine administered. The pain will go away in a moment. You removed an Anorix crystal from the creature's body, and it exploded with an unknown energy spectrum. It almost killed you.
I wanted to help that creature.
Ah.
It was infected by Anorix, but it looked like it was still fighting its influence. I thought we could save it.
Oh, we
I'm
did
sorry,
save it.
Mr. Riggs. That was bad judgment.
I understand your intentions, Ashley.
Save the animals, guys.
However, I think that this action was irrational. You didn't act like yourself. How were you even able to communicate with that creature?
I don't know. It felt like I was just talking to it. I didn't grasp that in the heat of battle. Now that I think of it, it does sound surreal.
The creature has escaped us, and it looks like it is the main carrier of the Anorix contamination.
Let's call it the Anorix worm, for a lack of better name. But yes, I think you're probably right. The Anorix bioanomalies that we first noticed appeared as a result of the worm's movement underground. And it looks like the Anorix crystals in this cave have grown around its presence.
The battle with the monster opened up a new passage underground. It looks like a traversable tunnel to a lower level of these caves. We should go there as soon as possible.
I agree, but we can't leave all of these Anorix crystals here. It's too risky.
Understood, Ashley.
What?
I will leave a timed explosive behind us. It will shatter the crystals and collapse the cave.
Ah, convenient.
Okay, that should do the trick. Let's proceed to the lower levels of the cavern system.
Okay. Pickaxe standard.
Research completed.
Versatile melee weapon that deals damage upon impact and sends a powerful shockwave rippling through the ground. Shockwave can take out multiple enemies at once or break through obstacles. Probably need that for a quest. That's a new research. Hollow decoy. Not making that, but interesting. I do feel as though the orbital laser was probably supposed to be disabled for this area, but maybe not.
Ashley, we've reached a lower level of the cavern system. This is as deep as this tunnel can take us.
This place is amazing. We've been walking down for a bit, but I can still see glimpses of the sky in some places through the sponge-like ceiling structure.
Remember that the ground level above us is not even. Some of the crevices on the surface were a few hundred meters deep, so even though we've traveled deep underground, the ceiling above us might be just a few meters.
Rocks can still be
in some
broken by
places.
gravity.
Okay, so
No.
where do we go from here? This looks like a dead end.
Oh,
First,
explosives
we should
too.
build an outpost on this level and use it as a forward base of operations. These limestone walls are relatively soft. I can dig through them with my drilling tools. We could even blow them up with explosives. Try digging in any direction, and I will scan the area in search of a good building location.
Fascinating.
Weirdly, the
This
orbital laser
place
does
must
not do
be
anything.
The remains of a primal coral reef. I kind of feel bad just drilling through it.
This ancient seabed stretches for hundreds of kilometers. Our presence is negligible.
You're right. Let's focus on tracking down the Anorix worm.
Good news, Ashley. I found a few locations that should be good to set up an outpost.
Excellent. Let's try digging our way to the closest one.
Minecraft now? Guess we're playing Minecraft. Pretty cool. Copper. I don't think we really need ironium or carbon. Actually, we do. Can't just teleport it from our main base. Cobalt. Oh. What? Just an attachment. Well, that makes things easier. I thought it was actually like a... Yeah, that's a lot faster. Cobalt. We need ironium and cobalt. It's like they made a level and then they filled it with like goo. They just filled it with goo. So there's ironium. Both the bottom ones are ironium. We need carbonium. That wasn't. That was cobalt, wasn't it? It wasn't carbonium. What do you mean, Cosmin? Cobalt. That's not what we want. We need frank carbonium. Speaking of which, we need to. I think we need to call things here, guys. I wanted to go through that level. Just get a little bit more playtime in here. Is there no carbonium? Yep, I have 2 fists. It's one of those moments when you finally figure it out. You're like, ah, yeah, for sure. Fister. So unless there's something here that produces carbonium, maybe. Pretty good. Chilling out some Riftbreaker. Do you like Riftbreaker?
Research completed.
DLC. Pickaxe is done. Is there an advanced pickaxe? There is. Let's just power through this because this will probably be a quality of life thing. So we'll just finish it off right away. The campaign. This is probably supposed to have a little question mark over it, but bug report. Yeah, so my guess is we're gonna probably one of these has carbonium, and I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to do a base with our carbonium. Building or something. I believe we can manufacture carbonium. There's no new power source here. We have for resources. All I see is the shit on the ground. I'm wrong. We don't actually need the resources. Okay. We don't actually need to collect anything. For some strange reason, it looked like we didn't have any income, and I don't know why. No, I can teleport my resources from my main base. That's not even an issue. Find a good place to build an outpost. I think we actually just ruined the whole area, too, by making it, like, going through everything. All the defensible buildings. Actually, I think we could just go up the top here. Like right here. Matters a whole lot. Okay. We'll work on this tonight, guys. I need to call things here tonight, guys. It's getting kind of late, as is the case. But we're going to continue on with this. The reason we're playing Riftbreaker, obviously, is not specifically for the campaign, but we'll play through the campaign anyways. We're definitely going to be doing some high-level survival once we finish the campaign, which is probably going to take maybe a day or two. We'll see how fast we go through it. We're going to call things here for tonight, guys. Good. Can't wait. But if you're new to the stream, guys, and you enjoyed the bullshit, you enjoyed the fun, you enjoyed Riftbreaker, make sure to follow up on the top right-hand corner. I stream every day from evening to late night, GMT-6, so 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 to 2 a.m. Give or take, it depends on my life, what's happening, etc., guys. The usual, but yeah, we're going to call things here for this evening. Tomorrow will be more OW2s, Riftbreaker, and we will continue with Overwatch 2 on probably maybe next week. We'll see how long this takes. Usually, single-player playthroughs take maybe about a week or two. About a week, depending. Riftbreaker is usually about a week, depending on what game we're playing. As a break from Overwatch, so yeah, should be fun. Definitely looking forward to it, guys. I'm out here for this evening, guys. Thanks for watching my stream as always, and I hope you guys have a wonderfully fantastic Monday night and Tuesday morning. Have a good day, guys.